Yo, what's up, everybody? Good morning, good morning, good morning. I am here. We are here. You're here with me together. We are running a little behind, but nonetheless, we are still here. And I was sitting down writing today, as I usually do for these posts. Still trying to find the right format, the right structure for, should I do this the day before? Should I keep it impromptu and do this the day of? Still haven't really figured it out because sometimes the thoughts don't really come until I'm actually in the zone for this space. Maybe I should get up earlier, but then I mean like 4 o'clock in the morning, and I don't think that's gonna happen. I do want to give, I have a question. Do we still feel a sense of duty and compassion to each other? And what does that mean in these times right now where everything is, every situation is heavily politicized, from racial injustices to our current pandemic right now, and just a whole lot of other things, issues. Do we still feel a sense of duty and compassion towards each other? Really quickly, this platform will never be a political platform, so you'll never really hear me get into politics because I think that is not what this is for. And what I want to actually just discuss today, just use some of this time today after this meditation, is to really just talk about our compassion for not just for self, but for each other. And how do we really connect with those thoughts and connect with what that actually really means? Because I'm still trying to figure it out too. So this will never be a political platform, but I do want to talk about real human issues as we're trying to develop our minds, our bodies, and our just whole understanding around being aware for self and being aware for each other. So come in with me this morning and let's just get this work done, right? So let's stretch it out. I am going to jump down. I am on my knees right now, but I'm gonna jump down on my butt. And we're gonna do same thing, 90-90 rotations. Bring your feet up in front of you, hands behind you, and then let's just rotate the hips from side to side. Let's just wake them up real quick. Hope everybody's having a great day this morning. If you're up early, if you're in different countries, like a few of my friends are, you're definitely been up for a while. The sun's probably already shining on your side of the world. So I say good day, good morning. Just get into those spots. One thing I want to do too, let's just bring our feet together in this butterfly pose. And you're just going to smash the soles of your feet together. Sit up as tall as you can. That'll kind of get that tension in the hips, kind of tuck your pelvis under too. You don't want to really arch your back, but you want to pull your back up straight. Imagine you got a piece of paper on your head and you're just trying to push the paper up further and further, right? Then just push the legs down and just feel that, breathe into that space. On the exhale, just keep pushing. I'm learning about breathing, and the exhale is where it's at, man. All of our relief, all of our movement through pain. The inhale is important, but the exhale is where the transitions are, where where the work is. So from there, let's just bring our legs cross-legged. Actually, nope. Let's get back into butterfly, and we're just gonna bend that forward. It's important to kind of pull through this space too, through the center line. can see my knees are way up in the air right now. If you can see them on camera, that means I'm not that flexible, but it's early in the morning. They'll drop down further a little bit later today as I work out. All right, so let's just bring our legs together or cross-legged, and we're gonna actually fold in the middle. So exhale and fold down the middle. Take 2-3 breaths here. Drummer Bailey, what's happening, brother? Right side. Switch sides. Exhale down. Now let's switch legs, and we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So kind of get yourself positioned right. I like to kind of rock into this space because this space starts to engage my knees a little bit. I don't have all the hip rotation that I would like to have in this space, so I have to kind of ease into it. Big inhale. Exhale down to the left side. Inhale to center. Exhale down to the right side. And then let's stretch it out a little bit. Bring the feet in front of you. You can straddle them as far out as you want to. I'm not gonna go that far right now. I'm in a narrow space. So I'm just gonna go as far as I can and just focus on this compression forward. Trying to get my chest to my thighs. And then finally, come up into this resting squat position. And just hang out here. And as you're breathing, notice if you're clenching your butt. And try to let that go. Try to unclench that and let the hips just keep falling into this little V pattern. You can move around in there if you need to, if you can, if you have the flexibility to be in this position. Bring the hands to your heart and use your elbows to kind of lean into this some more. Stretch the legs out, stretch those hips wider. Exhale, just come down to the floor. And let's get started. So, as always, I'm glad for anybody who steps in. Let me know if you have any questions or things you want to discuss that you may have preemptively or decided about our topic today. But if not, then we'll get right into our meditation. Or our Qigong, actually. And then we will walk through our meditation. Sorry, I'm looking down, relying on technology to assist me right now, pulling up my timer. But let's just get right into our Qigong and our breathing. And remember all this breathing we're doing in our nose, out our nose, right? So there's at no point we're in our nose or in our mouth and outer nose, or in our nose and outer mouth. But if you have to breathe through your mouth, make sure it's outwards and not inwards, right? At least for these exercises. So try to keep them inside the nose for right now. That's where you'll find all the benefit. And on that exhale is where you're actually going to find the release for being able to kind of settle down and settle into this space. So 4 movements we're doing. We're pulling chi at the bottom down to the gut section, right? Then we're going to raise and lower, raise and lower. The third thing we're going to do is spin that through the midsection, the midline. And then the fourth thing we're going to do is scoop it. So let's get to it. So let's start the first one here. Just put your hands by your belly. They're kind of making this ball shape. I like to imagine I'm just conjuring up some magic right now, right? Makes it a little more fun that way. Kind of starts getting you out of your comfort zone and into this self-expression mode, right? So tiny bits. Inhale. The last exhale, we're going to inhale up, bringing the palms towards the ceiling, shoulder height, exhale down. On this inhale down, we're going to bring our fingers together and inhale up towards the head, exhale out as we push it out and away from the body. The last inhale up, let's exhale out. Hands in a triangle pattern right in front of our face. Scoop down and around on the inhale. Scoop up, exhale out. this last push. Hold the triangle right in front of you. Breathe into that space twice. Imagine breathing into your hands. You're charging up this space. One more time. On the exhale, hands go down, thumbs go into the belly button, fingertips go to the pelvic region. And breathe into this space twice. Then we bring our hands to our heart center, and we just bow in. I hope that when you were paying attention to your breathing on that spot or in that position, it's coming, it's focusing yourself or training yourself on your nose, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the nose. Been reading a lot about this. I'm super excited about learning these types of things because it explains a lot about how the body works and where we get energy from and how we're able to maintain that energy. What's up, Jennifer? How are you? Thank you for stopping in. But how we're able to maintain that energy and how different breathing can benefit us in different ways. It can charge us if we need to be awake and charged and have a boost of energy. It can sustain us if we just need to just keep moving forward, and it can actually calm us down. But then there's some breathing that can actually just be detrimental to our just natural functionality, right? So learning about these things and then being able to put them into practice is super exciting and super important for me right now. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Jennifer. It is a good thing. It's so beautiful. We get to share this space together, and I'm enjoying myself a lot, and I'm enjoying being able to hold this space for everybody who wants to stop in. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to jump into our meditation that is 20 minutes of sitting, not terribly long. And what we try to do is sit in this space in this cross-legged position. If you can't sit in this position, you can sit in a chair, you can lie down, whatever position you need to be in just to be comfortable so we can sit, process these thoughts, and focus on our breathing as well, right? So if you get uncomfortable in a position, please move, make yourself comfortable. If your face itches like mine does sometimes, as soon as I close my eyes, my head itches, and I don't know what that's about. Maybe it's some neurological thing that's going on. As soon as it knows that my eyes are closed, I need to pay attention or focus, shit starts itching, right? So if it does, you scratch it. If it hurts, you move it. But know that that momentum of that thought or that distraction is going to take you away from the work. So like we were just talking about, get back into the breathing. In the nose, out the nose. Imagine yourself, your chest, when you breathe in, it rises. When you breathe out, it falls. And you can actually repeat that to yourself, rising, falling in your mind as you're breathing. And that may help you get back to the work, get back to center, and start thinking about processing your thoughts again, right? So our point with processing our thoughts isn't really just, here's a thought, I'm gonna hold on to it, and because I like this thought and I'm really proud of this thought, and I'm gonna just sit with this for the 20 minutes. It really is acknowledging that that thought exists, giving it its due credit, and then letting it go and pass it on to the next one, right? So we can just kind of work through a lot of thoughts, a lot of emotions, and then also a lot of getting rid of tension in the body as well. So I'm gonna start running my mouth. I'm gonna hit this timer, and I will see you on the other side of 20 minutes. Hold your hands up. Slowly start to bring your attention to your eyes. Just heat the eyes up. Face. Scalp. Slowly unravel yourself if you need to stretch out. Let the blood flow back to the feet, like mine always have to do. Take a sip of your tea if you got some. So yeah, I was thinking, I was on a phone call last night with some of my Masonic Lodge brothers, and we can't meet in the lodge in person. So we have happy hours on Zoom every Tuesday, just so we can kind of talk and keep it lighthearted. Can't really do any business stuff, so it's just more conversations and a bunch of dudes just really in one space being super positive, right? So we joke around, and time to time we talk about real, actual topics. And the one that was super present last night was obviously our sense of duty around keeping each other safe in these times right now with our global pandemic. And people are, whether it doesn't matter what side of the thinking you believe in with regard to wearing a mask and not wearing a mask, and how do we protect each other, or if it's even necessary in the first place. You know, being able to come into this space where there's no politics at all involved, off limits, but we could talk about real, actual human topics. And that's what was happening last night. So just being able to sit back and listen to people's concerns who may agree or disagree with our ideas of how we keep each other safe. But there was one common thread with everyone, is that we do need to keep each other safe. And what that looks like kind of varies, right? And we have different understandings around it. But that's okay. I think as long as our overall goal is we're in this together and we want to keep each other moving forward together, for our friends, our families, for each other that was on that phone call, our children, our parents, our grandparents, so on and so forth. And there's so much confusion. I think we've kind of transitioned from this point where we're less uncertain than we used to be when this first started, and more just confused, right? Because there's information every day. There's so much to really parse through. What's real, what's not? How do I actually understand the information? Once I digest it, what am I supposed to actually do with it? So all these things just brings up all these different emotions, all these different levels of confusion, and we're just kind of dealing with them in our own individual ways, right? So just being able to sit back and witness men actually be compassionate towards each other and listening and thinking. And it made me think about seeing a lot of, people fighting over this issue and not having a sense of respect for someone else's point of view or perspective, right? And I think that's the whole point, is that's where the compassion part comes in, is being able to sit down and actually understand why that person thinks or feels the way that they feel. And then being able to say, I can identify with that, or I can respect that. And for those purposes, whether or not you're going to mask up or not, you can still respect the people who are in front of you, and actually maybe have dialogues with them, or at least move in spaces to where we can actually understand how to pull each other through this. So that's the biggest thing, is just showing that compassion and showing that respect for someone's perspective. And it's not just their perspective or their point of view, but it really is their emotions are attached to these things as well. So once we start attacking each other on these issues, and once we start kind of moving aside our humanity on these issues, now we're actually attacking each other on this emotional level, which brings up more problems. So being able to move into this space and addressing our issues first, addressing our emotions around this issue, around these topics, and then being able to see identify those same things in somebody else as they're moving through their emotional understanding of what's going on and how to maneuver. And I think it just helps us all as a whole understand how we can understand how to work through this together, because we are all in this together, and it doesn't matter your political affiliations. I think that's not even the point right now. It really comes down to the point that we're humans, and we want to be loved, we want to be appreciated, we want to be put on pedestals. Sometimes we all have egos, and I think all those things are necessary for us to be able to thrive and for us to be able to move into the world. But what's most necessary is us to have compassion for each other and a basic understanding of why we feel the way we feel in the first place. So think about it. Take some time out. Is that person next to you or in front of you right? Are they wrong? Does it matter? What's their emotional status? What's happened to them that you don't know about that's causing them to lash out or causing them to show themselves in a way that's not respectful towards you, and then allows you to behave in a way that's not respectful towards them? What is it all about? I think about it a lot, and I think about it with regard to how I approach my everyday right now with my family, with my friends, going places and being concerned about my children, but then being mindful of people that I don't even know, that don't look like me at face value, but are like me, because we're all humans, we're all people. So just taking that in and looking at what the actual reality is that we're all suffering somewhat, and we're upset and we're angry because of the fact that we want to be able to process this, but sometimes we can't get our emotions out of the way. So that divides us, and it starts looking at each other. It causes us to look at each other as enemies, or you're wrong, I'm right. And I don't really think that's the point. So I'm gonna look at some questions here. She says, I lost my volume. Maybe my microphone went out. Hopefully not. Oh my God, that'd be terrible. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump off. But anyone, if you're still able to hear me, let me know. Jen, let me know if the volume went out. Maybe it's time for me to check my battery in my microphone. It's probably just that time. But I'm gonna go ahead and check out. So we're gonna bring our hands together. We're gonna inhale up, down and around, back to heart center, and we're bowing out. I thank y'all for tuning in. Hopefully you can still hear me. If not, I'm sorry. I apologize. I will get my technology together. Follow me on this thing. Share this with other people who may need to hear it, and we will talk to you here at the same time tomorrow. I love you guys. Peace.